Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, he's asking you to talk 2025 movies with him one last time. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
I am excellent. I am pumped for this podcast. We are going to do our 2025 movie draft, and we have a special guest on for us. I'm very happy that he is on there. I have been on his podcast, the Haven't Seen It podcast. If you are on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, it's Tommy Thevenet. How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me on. Great to be back. Great to be on.
Because I knew you before you started doing your podcast, and I didn't really, it's one of those things you don't know how to pronounce certain things until you hear it for the first time.
Oh yeah.
I compare you. You are my Chloe Sevigny of podcasting, where I was like, for like decades, I'm like, Chloe Sevigny, she's awesome, and they're like, that's not how you say that. You're like, what are you talking about? And so you were like, oh yeah, Tommy Thevenet or whatever. And it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
It's not even close. You have to I have to get all hoity-toity in saying your name.
Yeah, exactly. You have to pinky up when you say my last name. So
exactly. Yeah. Is that French? What is that? Because
it is French. It is French, but I don't think I have many French blood in me. So probably for the best.
Right.
But yeah. But yeah, you're not the only one to mispronounce my last name.
Yeah. Well, no, I got it right this time.
This time you did.
Okay,
this time you did. Yeah. This time you did.
Yeah. Because it's a big fear. It's a big fear, especially like, especially when you get to know people. It's like, oh yeah, no, I completely have no idea how to say your last name. I'm like, actually, thank God for your podcast to like hear how like you actually saying your last name into the microphones is so helpful that I didn't have to embarrass myself at another time. So that's great.
It's a big reason why we did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You had no idea. I was like, oh my God, I've been just waiting for this day. But I had a blast on your podcast doing the Dracula. Haven't seen it. Like, tell the people a little bit about your podcast and what you guys cover and how you guys go about it.
Yeah, so my co-host Tim and I, we've been friends since high school, and we always talk about movies. So our podcast is basically we cover a movie each week that one of us hasn't seen before. So for me, right. I'm the horror buff, so I've introduced Timmy to like Carrie, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream, all those classics. Nice. And he's introduced me to the actual classics. Like I never saw The Godfather before we started recording our
insane.
podcast.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's stuff like that where it's like all these epics like Barry Lyndon and stuff like that where it's like I probably should have seen these, but I guess I needed a podcast to convince myself to watch a 3-hour movie.
Right. Oh,
so,
yeah. Totally.
And there I am. Yeah.
Yeah. I like almost when podcasts ask me to be on as guests to like for something that I haven't seen versus something that I like have seen and I'm passionate about. Cause like a lot of times you've already had those conversations, right? With a lot of people in your life or over the years or whatever. But, having one that you haven't seen being that fresh thing is pretty awesome. Although I did see like you guys did Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban not too long ago. And I was just like, and I'm hearing you and you're like, yeah, I'm not a Potterhead at all. Like I've never seen this. I'm like, and you're not doing the first one. You're not doing the second one. Like you're like deep into the series or whatever doing. I'm like, good God, that feels like torture if you're not into it. Like if somebody was like, God. You have to watch the whole like those like Divergent movies or whatever they're called, like I'm like, oh God, I have to watch how many to get to the third or fourth one? Oh no.
Oh, thankfully it wasn't a marathon. I saw 1 and 2 like 6 years ago and hated them. And then Tim, like out of like torture, out of trolling, because I made him watch like the Evil Dead remake, which he hated. This is almost like payback for like all those like crappy horror movies I made him watch on the podcast. Where then all of a sudden he's like, all right, now you're watching Harry Potter 3. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Right. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah, that feels like an amazing chore if you're not into it. But I'm hoping today is not a chore for you. I know you're like you watch a lot of movies. You do more of like a retro podcast instead of the brand new stuff all the time. But I know I've seen you out in the theaters, whether it's the revival or the real thing. So I know you're out pounding the pavement, checking out the tape, doing your due diligence. So I'm hoping What did you think about this year? Because we've been covering it obviously all year. We cover a lot of movies on this podcast, brand new. So, what did you think of the movie year as a whole for 2025?
I think in terms of genre stuff, this was a very strong year. We had some like good stuff in terms of like, horror sequels to like stuff that shouldn't have been great. Like 28 Years Later, for example, I thought was really good.
Right.
And then yes, original IP that came out, like, your Sinners and stuff like that, or even Drop, which I think were just fun original movies in a way that we haven't seen really good original movies. In terms of drama, maybe a little bit lacking. I haven't been caught up on the Oscar stuff as much, but I think in terms of genre stuff, this is very strong and very fun. And we had 2 or 3 great original comedies, which is rare for this decade.
Sure. Yeah, there are certain categories which I'll go over soon enough that I feel like are gonna go pretty fast, or like where we're gonna be like, oh God, if I get the third number 3 pick or whatever on that one, it's gonna hurt a little bit. But Shane, how about you, sir? I mean, like, we talk on and off. Obviously, we've talked about the year, but we probably haven't done a check-in in a while. But I feel like this is a top-heavy year. I think it's been a solid year, probably one of the better ones, especially like Oscar-y wise in a long time. But how are you feeling about it now that 2025 is officially over?
I think I'd have to echo off of what Tommy said. I think we're going to get along very well during this podcast because you're the Oscar guy. I'm the gutter guy. I'm just like watching, like, just, the Frank Grillo movies of the world every week on Hulu. And you're the one. But again, you got me to watch the Oscars this year based on a couple movies that were out. And I did enjoy them. So I do think this is kind of top heavy. But genre-wise, especially the horror category, I thought was really strong. So I was happy with the horror outcome for the year.
Yeah, and we talked about it off mic a little bit where, there's a good amount of crossover in the what Shane would consider mostly like, his genres and being Oscar or awards players this year. And, you see it last night. We were talking about Amy Madigan winning for Weapons and Best Supporting Actress for the, Critics' Choice Awards. And you're like, holy hell, that's shocking. Even though she's won some across the country in terms of those voting bodies, I didn't think she was going to win, and that was surprising. But will she have the legs to keep doing that, go all the way to the Oscars? I don't know, but that's a pretty interesting start for her in some of the movies that won last night. I'm sure that'll come up again as we get into the draft itself. The categories for people who want to play along at home, of course you do. We have blockbuster. Over $100 million domestic is the cutoff for that. Awards contender, which is if it's nominated by the Critics' Choice or Golden Globes at this point, because we don't have Oscar nominations just yet, or any of the SAG or any of the other union bodies. We also have action comedy. We have animated superhero. We have horror sci-fi. And then wild card. So 6 total picks per person. The draft order, which I told Tommy, I'm like, I have video evidence to know that this was legit if anybody wants it. But the order is Shane, myself, then Tommy third. So we did not purposely shaft the guest. Although I was telling Shane that I think that I in the middle seat is, it feels like an airplane. Like I feel like I have the shit seat in this particular. Do you feel good about your third place? The kind of the wraparound.
I guess we're doing snake style, so I'll be first instead of the second round. So yeah, I'm fine with that. I get 2 great picks in a row.
That's what I was saying. I mean, if you think it's a top heavy year and you get 2 of the first 4 picks, that's not bad. So that's why I said I think I'm in the slightly crappier seat is how I would. Because Shane, you're going to have the number 1 pick here, buddy. Were you excited to pull said thing because you feel like you're in control, or how's that work?
No, I'm very happy I got the first pick because, again, there's a couple categories that I'm really weak on. So if you guys were to grab my picks, I'd be scrambling through my letterbox as we speak, trying to like have something just click in my head on what. So I am so glad to have the first pick.
Excellent. All right, well, let's get started, fellas. Shane, as noted, you have the first pick, so kick it off.
All right. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to go to the animated superhero category. and
Ooh.
only because this is one of the few animated films I've seen all year, and that's Predator: Killer of Killers. That is by far the
Great
best
one.
animated
Yeah.
film I've seen all year. I like it better than any of the superhero movies I saw this year. And we've talked about that movie ad nauseum. Dan Trachtenberg,
Sure.
love that guy, love what he's doing. So off the bat, Predator: Killer of Killers for the animated category.
Yeah, I was a fan. I caught that one late. I watched it right before the Predator Badlands came out, and I just wanted to make sure I was a completist with the Predator stuff for this year. And yeah, especially the first two I thought were super strong. And then the third one I was like okay on, but I thought overall I was like, this is probably my favorite animated film of the year. Sorry, all apologies to certain ones that may come up later, but I thoroughly enjoyed that one myself.
And it felt like it made the Predator movies like do something else other than just like, okay, now we have the Predator in X timeline. Now we can go past that in the franchise. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was like a nice in between what we normally have from Predator and what we ended up getting with Badlands. It was that nice kind of bridge of things. All right. I have the second pick here. I did not see that coming. So this is an interesting place to be in, I think, because it covers so many categories. I am going to take in Blockbuster. I'm going to take Sinners. I'm surprised. I thought that's where you're going to go, Shane. I thought that was going to be the
Sinners was the first round pick all day.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, because I know where Shane's heart is, so I'm not going to kill him for that. And quite frankly, I thought of all the years, like especially animated, was so bleak. So that one was a tough. So that's a double whammy for him. So I understand that, but I've been thinking about this a lot, and I am so on the fence right now. We talked about it on our podcast. I have 3 5-star movies, Sinners being one of them, and I fight all the time now in my head of which ones I'm going to pick, or which one I'm ultimately going to say is my favorite of the year, or what I think is. And it is so hard because I will go back and forth. But Sinners, when it first came out, it was like absolute slam dunk, perfect movie. It's Coogler's, probably his best, at this point. I think it's probably the first time I gave him a 5-star. But God, he just gets better and better. The Michael B. Jordan performance, I think, is being slept on, frankly, with all the talk of all the other people in that loaded best actor category in the award season. But God, like, it just came out of nowhere to make so much money. It has an impressive cast. The music scenes are excellent. Delroy fucking Lindo, man. Like, you can go all the way down. There's like 6 or 7 deep of like, I love that guy. I love that guy. I love that guy. And it's just such an impressive movie. It's shot amazingly. I was shocked that it didn't win for cinematography last night, quite frankly. Train Dreams won, but I was just like, my God, it's perfect. And the detail that he has for it, the period specific stuff, and to still make it, down and dirty, grimy, genre stuff and everything else. The guy is like the perfect director for now, and I just appreciate this movie so much. And I think this is the movie that people are going to talk about the most after 2025. So I'll take Sinners in number 2 in Blockbuster. So Tommy, you're up.
All right, so number 3 in Blockbuster. This could work in multiple categories. I'm going for Blockbuster for this. I'm going with Weapons. Weapons made over $200 million at the box office.
Yeah.
And I think that if there's a category for this draft that was best marketing or marketing for a movie, Weapons would fit there too. I think Weapons had such a great and genius marketing plan that didn't reveal almost anything about the movie except for the fact that kids were missing and they left at, was it 2:17 at night? But this movie, just the way it unveiled its like mystery was so engaging, so much fun. and kind of the Magnolia style of like switching between characters' perspectives throughout the movie. I think every actor right there was great, and like you had little heat checks right here.
Yep.
Even Josh Brolin was fantastic, and Amy Madigan. It's great to see her make a comeback. I mean, she was great in like old 80s movies like Streets of Fire and Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Seeing her come back, I was like, oh shit, Amy Madigan, where's she been?
I know. And I had no
Yeah.
idea, even just watching the movie, that was her. Like,
Yeah.
I was shocked when they, I put that together as in real time. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, she's unbelievable in that. I like the early part of that movie, the way, the chapterization, everything. I echo everything you said. I love that stuff too.
Yeah. I guess I have next up. So
You do. You have the first pick in the second round as well. So what are you going for?
Okay, so I think I should take this off the board because there weren't a lot of great comedies this year, but best of the best was The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
Which also won last night for best comedy at the Critics' Choice.
As it should. I mean, there are some other great ones. I'm sure will come up on the pod. But Naked Gun was a movie that I had 4 friends come out with me to the theaters, and we were just dying laughing like nonstop. It's a movie where you hear a reboot, especially a comedy reboot. You're like, I don't know, maybe this is gonna suck. Maybe this is gonna be a Zoolander 2 type situation, but it wasn't. Liam Neeson just like took up what's his name? Frank Drebin. Leslie Nielsen. I can't believe I forgot his name. But yeah, it took up his mantle like immediately and just like took the ball rolling. And it is a movie that like there's so many references, there's so many niche things that they reference, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer gets a shot in that movie and just had me dying laughing. And just like Liam Neeson having to take a shit and like firing his gun so he could take a shit in the bathroom at Starbucks. Just great moments, and it's a movie I can't wait to get the 4K and just rewatch it and just die laughing when I'm like high as hell. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had a fun time. And my favorite thing is almost like beyond the movie stuff, where I guess like Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson pretended to be a couple through their whole press tour and didn't acknowledge that maybe a fake or whatever, like just committed to the bit the whole time. And they weren't, but then, I think maybe they actually ended up dating possibly for a little bit, but like they're not together now as far as I know. But yeah, they just completely faked a whole relationship for the press tour, and it's amazing.
And it worked to the point that even my mom and sister were talking about it. And I was like, you guys know nothing about movies.
Nice. Yeah. But like, yeah, that's directed by Akiva Schaffer from Lonely Island, which I adore the Lonely Island guys. So that's it's awesome to see him do that, because I think those guys have done so much for comedy, all 3 of them. So it just, and their podcast's amazing. I just love everything they do. But yeah, trust me, Naked Gun, Airplane, those are my kind of comedies that I hold in high esteem. So I was very apprehensive about that movie, but yeah, I had a good time. There's a lot of great jokes in it. It's perfect. Like if you didn't see it in theaters, watch it on streaming. It's a perfect streaming, just kick back at home and have a laugh kind of a movie. So that's awesome. Did you end up checking that one out, Shane? I forgot.
I missed that one, to be honest with you. And not because I think it was just the timing of everything. And like Tommy said, I was skeptical because when you do a sequel or reboot from an original comedy for 20 years ago, it just usually doesn't work. I mean, he brought up Zoolander 2, but you also had like Dumb and Dumber 2 when they tried to do that. It just, they never quite work. Or Coming to America 2 was fucking awful. So when I saw this come up, I'm like, there's no way this is going to be good. But then I heard all the good buzz. So I will check it out. I just kind of missed. This is one of the few ones I missed in the theater.
Yeah, I had this one more akin to like Confess Fletch, where like, new guy doing it, whole new kind of set of circumstances with that. So, and that one was okay. I don't think John Hamm is Chevy Chase either. It's a big, big shoes to fill there too. So, a lot of efforts were made, but I think this is probably a little funnier, or at least maybe more in my vein, my type of humor. So I definitely rode with this one a lot more than that one, but that's a good pick, man. Especially like you said, that category, action comedy, especially if you lean one or the other, it's a tough one to fill in there. All right. I am up. I cannot believe I can grab both of these. This is amazing. I'm going to go with, in awards, I am going to go One Battle After Another. Yeah. PTA, a great movie, won Best Picture at the Critics' Choice last night, and it seems like it might be a sweep. for that movie, and well deserved. Again, another incredibly deep cast. Like for a movie that seems to be sweeping, it's actually quite bizarre in a lot of plots between the what is it, the Christmas camper? What's the
Christmas? I think Carolers, just a Christmas Tree Adventure Club or something.
Yeah, Christmas Tree
Christmas Adventures. Yeah,
Christmas
Adventures.
Yeah, Christmas Adventure. Like between that subplot, just how crazy Sean Penn has to be the whole time. It's funny, usually Golden Globes is like you hate it when something that's a straight up drama is in comedy. And I will say that this movie, I laughed quite a bit and really hard in this movie as well. Like it has so many elements between the political stuff or the revolutionary stuff in the beginning, and then moving into the almost stoner adventure film it is in the middle, and then to go into like a straight up rescue revenge movie at the end, and to have these incredible performances, Benicio del Toro being like the most memed guy of the year on film Twitter, it feels like, and just like Halloween costumes. You talked about weapons, that Gladys was a big one, but Leonardo DiCaprio's Bob character was probably right there with a lot of the film Twitter crowd doing that. So it's crossed over into the cultural zeitgeist, as well as just being an excellent movie, and probably the best one for PTA since at least Phantom Thread. I think Shane hates that movie. Oh
God.
Yeah. But
yes.
But at least if you want to go back to more of his heyday, like say The Master or something, like it's right there with all those classics that he's had over the years. So I'm ecstatic to have this as my second pick in awards contender. So Shane, you're up for 2, buddy.
Yeah, this is going to be funny because it's shaping up my kind of draft. I'm going to Blockbuster, and I'm going back-to-back Trackenberg. I'm going Predator Badlands for my Blockbuster of the year. Yeah.
Wow. You're right on Trackenberg.
Yeah, he's on a roll. Love this movie. I love where he took the Predator, seeing it through his perspective this time. I love the Elle Fanning character. I love how it was intertwined with the alien stuff. I love the planet that they built. I thought when they introduced some of the characters that it would just, like we talked about, it'd be a little goofy, kind of like the Mandalorian Grogu, like that whole thing. But it worked. It worked at the end. And I absolutely just love this movie. So you guys left me no choice, really, but to go back-to-back Predators. So I am loving my list right now. So you can take your one battle after another and just shove it.
Shane, you are in full. We have a guest, like you are in full drunk uncle at Thanksgiving right now, just showing your true colors. Just going
talk about the Predator. That's all a drunk uncle would do. Be like, you see those new Predator movies, Johnny?
Yeah, exactly. This will put hair on your chest. Here you go. But I can't fault you. You're my guy.
They both rock. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Great time with both these movies. Just to have it this early, I think, is just setting such a tone. I love it. But I don't know if you want to just leave, Shane. You got what you came for, and then you can go, or you can have your next pick.
Just a mic drop right now.
That would be hilarious. He just goes, "All right, see you later, guys."
All right, so it's swinging back to me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going horror sci-fi with this one. And I did had to think about this real quick, but ended up being my second favorite horror movie of the year. And I'm talking about Bring Her Back with the, how do you pronounce their names? The Philippou brothers?
The Philippou brothers, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this, you talk about another great pair of directors in this genre coming up. This movie gave me the chills. I loved the way it was shot. Sally Hawkins' performance was just so, so good. And it had those moments where you had to turn away and you were still kind of looking, but yet you had to turn away. Love the story, love the acting, love the atmosphere. Such a great movie up until, again, it's my second favorite horror film behind Sinners. So I'm feeling pretty good, guys.
I saw a meme. I should have sent it to you. I don't know if I did. Was like this wild animal that bit into a like a desk, like a big board desk.
Yeah.
And the person captioned it with "Bring her back 2025," and I was just like, yes, absolutely. Because that scene, between that and the knife, that whole scene,
the knife.
I'll never forget any of that. Between that and him filling up so much his belly got like so distended from just eating flesh, that was just like, yeah, this is my kind of thing.
And I think being their second film, right, or the follow-up to Talk to Me, I liked Talk to Me, but I thought their trajectory is going up and up right now. So I'm on board with whatever these guys decide to do.
Yeah, we talked about it when we covered it. And I'm curious to know how you thought about it, Tommy, if you caught it. But I think,
still got to catch it. But yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, geez, man. Yeah, you're in for.
Yeah. Talk to Me is wild. So yeah,
there is no in between in watching this movie. You're either going to be like,
it was a movie that I heard was like incredibly depressing. So I was like, I need to like prepare myself to watch it.
I don't know if I'd call it depressing. I just call it unhinged.
Yeah, which I can appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Where I think the mechanism of Talk to Me, I think people really responded to that, but I think this is just a better, more engaging movie. I mean, they love doing trauma porn in a way too with all their movies. So if you're not up for that, or if you didn't like Talk to Me, like maybe you're apprehensive, but I recommend this one too. We both like this quite a bit.
Yeah, Talk to Me was awesome, so I still gotta catch it.
Yeah. So Shane, that was in horror sci-fi, correct?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So it's back to me. Good guy.
Back to you, bud.
All right. All right. God, you guys leave me such a buffet. This is amazing. I don't even know why I did any prep. Good God. No, actually, this is the exact reason why I need to do prep right here. I am going to go in animated superhero. I literally only had 3, and I didn't even know how much I liked the third. I am going to go with Thunderbolts in that category because, while there were some good things to like from things like Superman or Fantastic Four, or even in the animated category, like Shane took my favorite animated off the board. And if I really had to end up picking like Zootopia 2 or like K-pop Demon Hunters, at least I can look myself in the eye and go, those songs are bangers, like, so no judgments on myself at all. But I will still I actually like Thunderbolts quite a bit. It was definitely, we talked it up early on. It was probably the most inventive and story strong movie Marvel's done in quite some time. It's lived on pretty well in my head, and I love the whole bouncing around in between the minds kind of a thing, throwing it back to Eternal Sunshine. It brought me back to like Eternal Sunshine, like going between the memories and jumping in between things there at the end, and just the action, the look. I liked a lot of things, and Florence Pugh is always amazing, and I think she's almost like, you never want to say like too good for a movie like this, but she is excellent, and they are lucky to have her, and she's been kind of underserved in that role for a while, and I think this is the best they could have hoped for with getting someone like her on board.
Yeah, I think that it was cool how it took the angle of like mental health struggles and stuff like that, instead of being like the typical superhero punch each other in a city while like everyone dies and somehow we save the day.
Which there is some of that as well, but I thought that way,
not as much.
No, it was definitely more clever the way they ended things, and having a villain with true abilities, but also a complex storyline that you can kind of weave and try to figure them out and fix them and kind of do it, instead of something to where it's like, just dumb, like you said, awful CGI punching in the sky, and you just hate it all, and then it's the end of the movie. So I'll definitely take this. Tommy, you are up now for 3.
I am very shocked this one is still on the board. And I saw it over the weekend. I even texted you. I got to see this before we record. And Marty Supreme, I saw it on Saturday. I literally was like, I got to watch this before we record. So that's my pick for awards contender. And it's a movie that, like, first of all, the cast wise, just like heat check after heat check, where you have like even Abel Ferrara popping up for like a little bit here and there. And you have like Penn Jillette and just like all these random guys, and Sandra Bernhard that you haven't seen forever. But the central performance of Timothée Chalamet is just so much fun, where it's just like kind of like the Safdies, or Josh Safdie rather, being in like the Uncut Gems type mode. But I think it's just a very compelling thing where you can see why people like Marty, because it's just like he's that little shit that you just love, but you're kind of like, you suck at the same time. But at the same time, you just want to see him go through this thing and see how he gets himself deeper and deeper into this hole. And like the ping pong scenes are just filmed so dynamically in a way that like
They're
never
legit.
thought that you never thought that ping pong could be so cinematic. And this movie really sells that. I mean, before, like, I'm trying to think of like the best ping pong scenes before. And the only thing I think of is like maybe Forrest Gump. And
that's what
Balls of
everybody
Fury.
says.
Yeah. And both those movies aren't known for their Balls of Fury, but that's a shit movie.
Right. Exactly. No, I was blown away by this movie. This is the third one of the 3 5-star movies I gave this year, and I agree with you. It's completely electric. The cast is amazing. They even did like deep cut. They love doing like the deep cut New York stuff too, where they even got like the singing, or not the singing homeless guy, the homeless guy with like the deep
Ted Williams
tone.
With the
voice.
he was awesome.
Like, that was back when the internet was cool.
And even like Kemba Walker and Tracy McGrady have cameos as Harlem Globetrotters. So it's like cool.
No, it's incredible what they were able to pull off. And it made you like, I don't know if you saw Smashing Machine, and it's tough to like compare, but of course people are going to when they used to do stuff together, and now they're doing it separate. Marty Supreme is like an amazing movie that I just go for everything that I like about Safdie brothers movies. I'm like, oh, they were all in that, and I felt none of that when I was watching Smashing Machine. So I don't know, it's tough to be that kind of decisive, but I don't know. I really, really enjoyed myself with Marty Supreme, and I did not with Smashing Machine. So it's tough. It's a tough beat. I was hoping that we were gonna, like, if you're gonna separate, maybe we get 2 really great movies because they're 2 guys who really know what they're doing. Sorry, like that's kind of how it goes. But I really liked Marty Supreme, and it's one of those, like, he won Best Actor, Timmy, last night for Critics' Choice, and now people are like, ooh, is he gonna get it over Leo? If you had to choose yourself, Tommy, are you choosing Timothée Chalamet over Leo?
I think so. I mean, Leo also has already had his award, and well, he's great in that movie. Some of it is kind of like him doing a dude pastiche.
A little bit,
in a way.
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit. Whereas Marty Supreme feels a little more original in a way. So of the 2 of them, I want to see also Timothée Chalamet just do the most egotistical fucking like Oscar speech in the world. He's gonna be such a pretentious fuck. I can't wait to see it.
He already started with his stuff at SAG last year, and he's just gone full throttle with it this year. And honestly, I'm just here for all the bright orange attire, including his, I forgot what award show they were at, where he had the all orange and had like the paddle as like almost like a side bag thing or whatever. He's just amazing. I love every minute of it. It's one of those, like, before I saw the movie, I was like, this guy's lost his fucking mind. And then you watch the movie, it's like, oh, I get it. And I don't even care because he's so damn good. Even if this was like his full personality, I'd be like, whatever. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. Fuck it. Just go for it. Just go get that award, Timothy.
Yeah, exactly. Shane, you haven't seen this yet, right?
Nope. Not yet.
Yeah. Poor bastard. He had tickets. He did try to make the effort. Just want to put that on record.
Happens to the best of us.
Yes. And I agree. I am heartbroken that you were able to get that with the 9th pick when it's right in the running of like my favorite thing of the year.
Yeah, it should have gone the first round, but Predator, Killers of Killers had to go first.
Yes. We'll get back to you, Shane, you know, you end up seeing it and just being like, well, Marty Supreme maybe
Yeah.
should have gone. Yeah. But you said that was in awards, right?
Yeah.
All right, you have another pick, right?
Okay, yeah. So in horror sci-fi, I think this counts. I'm gonna pick The Long Walk. So yeah. Long Walk was what, one of like 3 Stephen King adaptations I think that came out last year.
Yeah, because I mean, Life of
4
Chuck
if you
ended
count
up bleeding over, but yeah, right.
Yeah, if you count 4, if you count Welcome to Derry. But I think this one was probably the best. The Monkey was fun, but I wouldn't call that a great movie.
Right, I
Long Walk,
that one. Yeah,
Long Walk was a movie that felt like a Vietnam movie, felt like a war movie, and it was one of those things where like you thinking like, how compelling can this be? But it's, the whole movie is just like really about like the camaraderie of these guys as they go through this fucked up like game where like they get shot if they don't go above like 3 miles an hour when walking, and you feel the weight of every single character when they die, especially towards the end where like they're walking away and some characters get shot in the face, and I'm just like bawling my eyes out at the point. And it's a movie that easily could have just been like repetitive or boring, but somehow Francis Lawrence, the way he directed this, just really compelled me, really just brought me to tears in a way that I didn't expect going into The Long Walk. And this is a movie that also a guy shits himself when he's walking. So I would be out immediately also in The Long Walk. Just want to put it out there on record. I would not last that long. I would probably be one of the first. I'd be like, just shoot me, fuck it, I'm done.
Yep. Were you as fascinated about like people who were able to kind of like take cat naps on like other people and still walk at the same time?
That's amazing. I could never. Well, actually, I have been so drunk once that I was like standing and dancing at the same time, but passed out all the same.
Right.
So I guess I can see the angle towards there. So Long Walk though, I mean, like horror sci-fi, I think that is really compelling. I like that we're also getting like the more Richard Bachman novels back. I mean, Rain Man was fun too, but I don't think it was nearly on the level of this. Long Walk was just a really great emotional movie. So I can't wait to rewatch it.
Yeah, I almost want to have a wellness check on Francis Lawrence. Like, is he between like doing all the Hunger Games and this? Is he just like, all right, like he's secretly
kill those kids?
Fuck exactly. Kids. He is President Snow in real life, just waiting for new projects. He's like, I like it, but the people who die are like in their 40s. Can I get something a little?
Get them younger.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can we set this on a college campus or a high school?
It's like, I've done the Hunger Games. How about we do a Battle Royale remake?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Straight
up. That guy's a sicko. But hey, he's made mostly good movies, so I can't complain. All right, so I am back up. I think I am going to go in which one do I want here? I am see, Shane already got his action comedy, but I feel like his wild card will probably also be in that vein, so I'm very scared. I am going to question for Shane. I think this is right. I believe I looked up the genre. Would you consider Relay in action?
I'm going to say, yeah, there's enough action scenes in it to, in my mind, qualify for an action film.
Okay. I'm going to go with Relay in action comedy. Have you seen this one, Tommy?
This is, I think, the first I've heard of this.
This is an incredible Riz Ahmed movie that it moves almost like a very smart, updated, almost kind of like feeling like The Fugitive, but having it's, I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much for you. I'm like hedging myself, but it's such a smart system that they use for this woman who is trying to escape from her old job, which she wanted to do a whistleblow job, recanted, but then tried to go underground and was, worried for her life. And Riz Ahmed helps this kind of almost like underground way of hiding people and getting them into better situations. And they use this old well, it's still in play, but like the relay system they use for the hearing impaired, where you
Mhm.
log on to people and they have to type out their messages and nothing is ever saved or recorded, so that way nobody could track you and everything else. So they use that to help people move and get throughout, away from the people that they're trying to get away from. And it's an intelligent movie. It's very well acted. And there's a twist that happens at the end that may be divisive to some, but I was all in and was totally enjoying and did not see it coming. And it was one of my favorite like hidden gems of the year that just like blew me away as like the second night of a double feature I did. And I was just like, yeah, fucking relay. Holy shit. Like you just want, it was one of those you want to tell everybody like, go see it now, kind of a movie. And that was it for this year. This was the hidden gem of the year. And Shay, I know you love it too.
Yeah, it's still in my top 5 of the year, which, by the way, they put on Netflix last week, so that you can watch this on Netflix as we speak.
Hell yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I gotta check this out. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, fire it up, man. And it's not even like I went into it going, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of this, and what. It was just, well, actually, that's not true, because it's the same director as Hell or High Water, which I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah.
And this guy keeps making bangers, like quiet bangers that, maybe not everyone's seen, but just an incredible director. So definitely highly recommend it. As Shane said, this is on Netflix. So, go check it out now because it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And one of my favorite movies of the year. Shane, you are up for a double on this one.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the awards contender, and I'm doing this because I don't have a lot on my awards contender list. So this is the only one I have left, and that is Begonia. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Little Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Yorgos Lanthimos, who we both really enjoy. And this movie blew me away, not by just the story, because I like the crazy conspiracy story, like who's right and who's wrong, but it's the back and forth between Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons that just blew me away. And I laughed. I thought this movie was funny at parts. I actually did like the third act, which I've heard a lot of people really didn't care it went that way.
Yeah.
But I absolutely loved it. I love all his work. And again, the performance is what put this over the top, just the back and forth with Stone and Plemons. So I know you enjoyed this movie as well. So that is the only thing I had left in awards contender, to be honest with you. If you would have someone would have taken that, I would have been shit out of luck.
Right. That's not true. There's another movie that maybe you just don't realize is an awards contender that's still available. But once I pick it, you'll be like, shit, I could have done that.
I wrote another one down. It may be that, but I still like Begonia more than maybe where you're going to go.
Okay.
Yorgos is awesome. He feels like the heir apparent to Tim Burton.
Yeah. He's
especially
definitely more
things.
dour, but he's intense and crazy. Yeah, for sure. But I thought, you brought up the third act, Shane. It was one of those movies that when you're watching it, I was like, I don't care if this is real or not. I'm just enjoying myself so much, and these performances are so good that I'm just having a great time. And even just something like his cousin in that performance, like just such a small performance, but you felt so bad for him and he was so convincing. And again, it's one of those, I don't know who this guy out of nowhere kind of performances that I was just like, I'm so invested in this guy. And it was batshit, and I had such a great time.
I'm going to count this as an action film, though it does have action scenes. It's more of a dialogue-driven movie, but since it involves spies and CIA shit, I'm just going to roll. And if you tell me it's not action, I'll pivot and go somewhere else. But it's a guy who was on a heater at the beginning of the year. He's pumping out movies like every other month. I'm going with the Steven Soderbergh Black Bag with Michael Fassbender. Are you going to allow that or no?
I'm going to double check.
I gotta admit, I wasn't a big fan of that movie, but
I loved it too. But
but I also saw it at the back half of a double feature and was exhausted at that point. I don't think it's a good movie to watch when you're tired. So I got to recheck it out.
And especially like that, I don't know that I really like this movie. It was one of our tops of the year early on before probably like some of the bigger heavy hitters came in. But yeah, I just think it's, again, another smart moves at a great pace. It's got, again, a very deep cast, and I don't know, Shay, I'm gonna double check the genres on that. I don't want to, they list it as thriller, mystery, and drama on the Letterboxd.
All right.
So
all right. Well, I'll take
I
that
don't
off.
want to.
Nope, I'll take that off the board.
Just called you out right there.
No, go on, because sometimes you have to check yourself, right? So
yeah,
I'm going to roll right back into the action genre. This is something I saw earlier in the year. I was just blown away just by the experience of this movie, but it's a movie that I can only watch one time. And that was the Alex Garland, Ray Mendoza Warfare. Came out early in March with a great ensemble cast. Will Poulter and Joseph Quinn, and it just was so intense. I love the sound editing, just the realism of just this one battle, them trying to get out of this house. It just blew me away. But again, I was grabbing at my seat with this, and it's a movie that I can only take one time. But it's one of my few 5-star movies. Like Andrew, I think you said you had 3. This is one of my 2 or 3 that I gave 5 stars to. Just a great cinematography was great. Just the story was great. I loved this movie. So I'm going to go Warfare.
So hold on, I'm slightly confused. So you're taking this in what?
Action.
So action comedy is one category, and you already took Predator Badlands, right?
Did I? No. I took Predator Badlands for Blockbuster. I took it for Blockbuster.
That made more than 100 domestic?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's my fault. All right. I'm with you.
I'll back you up there, Shane.
I'm a terrible host.
I checked this morning. It was like 130, 140 range it ended up making.
Okay. I'm with you. I'll double check while we're going, but continue. So wait, so you had Begonian Warfare back to back, so you're done with your section?
Yep. I just got the wild card left.
Squirrely.
No, I got the wild card left. That's all.
All right. No, it's good. Man. See, now I'm torn. So I have 2 more picks. I have horror, sci-fi, and wild card left. I was trying to save my wild card for something specific, but I don't know. This is a toughie now. I will go with I'm gonna go horror sci-fi, and I will pick Companion.
Yeah,
which again, one of the early on, really fun, probably one of the best first watches of the year out in theaters. This again was maddening for I think Shane and I both. I don't know if you had it too, where it was like incredible first trailer. You had me. You didn't need to give me the plot twist in the second trailer, and I was so mad when I watched it. It would have been
so good to see that blind.
Absolutely. I envy anyone who, if you're listening to this now and you're like, oh, good movie recommendation, cool, I'll go check it out, and just go in blind. Please, for the love of God, don't watch a trailer or do anything. But yeah, incredible movie. It's such an inventive idea, and it's funny on top of being like almost moments where like it feels like the Terminator. It feels like, a quirky, horror blend as well. It just works. It's very smart. It's, a lot of movies where you're talking about, artificial intelligence or any of these things these days, it just feels so rote, or just like, yes, I hate AI too, or I hate those type of things. But this one did it in such an inventive way that I was just all in and had such a good time with it.
Yeah, and it's a solid mid-budget like thriller, essentially.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to spoil anything else, but we don't get those a lot in theaters these days. So always got to support when you do.
That was probably the early part of this year's drumbeat for Shane and I, at least on this podcast, where we're like, we love Black Bag, we loved Companion, we loved, even stuff like Presents or things like that, where we're like, oh, these inventive, cool, just movies that you just don't get often, that aren't tied into franchise IP, all this other stuff that we were just like, great. This is a great way to start the year before we start getting all the franchise stuff in, as we usually do.
Well, see, I'm not going to mention this movie in one of my draft picks, but it wasn't a great movie, but I love that we had a Hand That Rocks the Cradle remake. I wish it was theatrical, even though it was okay. It was okay. I love those 90s yuppie thrillers, and I wish that we got more of those theatrically again.
Sure.
And the companion cat felt like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not a lot of people watched it. I hated the fact that was a thing too.
Yeah. Side note, because I know you'll end up killing me. I don't know what list I saw, but you're right. Predator did not make $100 million. It made just over 90. Ooh. So yeah. Ooh. But I'll just move that to my wild card, and that'll take care of that.
Okay. Excellent. No harm, no foul, sir.
I don't know what I was looking at. All right.
So, are we back to Tommy now for 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So, in animated superhero, I was thinking of going with Superman, but I'm going to go with something different because I forgot this came out this year. But with my old friends, the Looney Tunes, they had a movie this year, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I'm a little younger than you guys. Space Jam was like a totem classic for me when I was a kid. Yeah. So that was like how I got introduced to the Looney Tunes. And I think that this movie was just very clever. You don't see 2D drawn movies in theaters these days almost at all. It's almost all CGI. So it was really cool that, this felt like a very like classic type of animated movie, and it had really fun gags, and the gags of like explain how Porky Pig got his stutter back in the day. It was a very charming movie. I did talk earlier about how I did a double feature of Black Bag. For some reason, this was my double feature. I did Black Bag first, then this. And I remember midway through Black Bag, I was like, why did I pick Black Bag? Like I should have gone with like, I don't know, that Novocaine movie that would have fit much better with Looney Tunes.
Right. Yes. That's true. Which, by the way, kind of underrated movie from last year.
Yep. Still need to see that because I picked Black Bag instead that night.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, yeah. But anyways, Looney Tunes. I mean, I can't wait for Coyote versus Acme, which is going to come out this year. But it's good to see him back, and I think this movie was very charming. And you haven't checked it, check it out. I mean, 2D drawn animation movies are rare to come by these days.
Nice.
Yeah, I did enjoy aspects of this movie. I did see this movie myself because I'm an old school Looney Tunes head, and it was like free afternoon, why not kind of an experience. But it's definitely silly. It's not, I've watched every incarnation of Looney Tunes that they've had over the years, especially because my kids will watch it and everything else. So I had to be, again, a completist on this too. But I too am looking forward to Coyote versus Acme. That got shelved and now is going to be revived and all that. So that should be interesting because that's more of the mix, right? It's the animated with the human aspect on that one. So that'll be fun. So you have your last pick as well, correct?
Okay, so in wild card, I was thinking of horror sci-fi for this, but I'll go with it here. 28 Years Later. The other Alex Garland movie in 2026, directed by Danny Boyle. Seeing them back together was great. 28 Days Later, rather, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, and I think this was a worthy sequel. I think the less said about that, the better. Had a cool opening sequence, but that was about it. But this one I felt like had really cool like ideas and like even just the world building in this movie, how like Britain is the only thing that's been affected by the rage virus and everyone else is just totally fine. There's iPhones in this world outside of, so it's just like it's almost like Mad Max, for like the theory of Mad Max, where like Australia is just like that and everyone else is normal. That's what Britain is in the 28 Years Later universe. But I think that really good performances. Ralph Fiennes was great, and I think just a really good emotional core through of like dealing with mortality and like dealing with loss and how to move on from that and from great tragedies. And fantastic movie, I think. I can't wait for Bone Temple.
Yeah, are you?
Even though it's not Danny Boyle.
No,
it's Nia DaCosta. She's been a little mixed bag for me, but. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, at least Alex Garland's still scripting, gives me hope. And the trailers have been promising. So, and also, not to spoil, but 20 Years Later has one of the most batshit crazy last 5 minutes of any movie I've seen.
And which will carry over. So that's going to be nuts. And you get to have your favorite zombie with giant dongs again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You always need one.
Yes. Once I saw him in the trailer, I was like, I knew they couldn't stay away. You know, he's too good of a character. You know, we had so much fun with him in the last one.
The breakout character of 2025. Everyone's talking about Big Dick Zombie.
Yeah, exactly. The T-shirts are being made up right now. But that's great. That's a great way to end it with Looney Tunes and zombie franchises. It's like, if Shane can be Shane himself in the beginning, I think you really showed your true underbelly, I think, in the end there. So that's perfect. Good on you for that. So it's me, and then Shane has his last, right, as well?
Yep.
All right. I'm going with my head or my balls. I can't. I'm like picking right in between. I want to pick this one particular movie to just kind of look at Shane and go, "You sure you didn't miss this one?" But God, gosh. All right, I'm gonna go with my heart, and I'm gonna pick Rental Family as my wild card, because this movie made me sob uncontrollably like a giant fucking baby multiple times in the theater. But it's one of those, it's the movie poster movie that you always want, where it's like, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you think, it'll do all the things that you want, surrounded by almost like just an understated Brendan Fraser performance, where he's just kind of in and out of these people's lives, but kind of absorbing this huge emotional contact with these families that he has to interact with, and just, take it until he can't take it anymore, interact too far because he has too big of a heart, and you just believe it so much with him. And this is just an incredible story based on a system that we just don't have here, that I think is such fertile ground for discussion and, just questioning, frankly, about the rental family system, where actors will, play into scenarios of your life, whether it be, marrying someone at their wedding for their parents' sake, or, interacting with an elder, whatever, somebody to interact with your family in some major case, and then get paid to do it. It's such a weird system, but incredibly deep cast. One of the surprise movies again for me, that I just was like, how is this movie in this movie year being absolutely slept on? Nobody wants to put this as a best picture when I would in a heartbeat. So
I heard about this movie, and this is the first time I heard that it was a Brendan Fraser starring vehicle. So
and Shane saw it on my recommendation too, and I know he loved it as well.
Yeah.
And
so if that tells you anything,
this is Predator back-to-back picks. This is Predator back-to-back picks. Shane is like, yeah, man, it's so emotional. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. So
sounds awesome.
Yep. Back it up.
Yeah. So I had to take that one. Shane, you have one more pick, so I'm curious when we get to it if you'll agree with my one that was, quote, missed by you at some point. But yeah, we'll see. What do you got?
So my earlier fumble affects nothing. You guys didn't talk about this movie yet, but since I got to go back to Blockbuster, I'm going to go back, and this is guaranteed made over $100 million, and it is F1. Came out.
There you go. That's the one I was waiting for you to pick.
Came out this summer, and Brad Pitt just keeps playing cool fucking characters, man. Like, who doesn't want to be Sonny Hayes? Just a nomad, will drive any vehicle. Yes, this movie is tropey, but what sports movie isn't tropey at times? I just thought, just the way they shot the F1 scenes themselves and gave you an inside look at the engineering and the way they just modified the cars, I thought was cool. And I loved his story. I loved his back and forth with the younger driver as well. I was all in. This movie is cheese among cheese, but I did not care because it was so freaking entertaining. I loved it. And again, he's playing such a cool character. So That's how I'm going to finish this draft with F1.
It was such an incredible experience seeing this in Dolby, big screen, big sound, just the races, like that key flip in the middle of the race season that they had. That was just an amazing, and tragic accident that they show, and you felt like you were in it. It's as they've said it a million times, it's Top Gun Maverick in a race car. But for something that I didn't know, I don't watch F1, even though I'm a big sports guy, and I felt like I understood the game. I felt I understood the team atmosphere. I felt that this was just old school rip it and grip it kind of a action sports movie all mixed in, and Brad Pitt is just, he's Brad Pitt. He's my guy, and I love him. And this is a perfect combo and a perfect role for him at this stage of his career.
It was a really fun movie. I like that Joseph Kosinski is basically playing out the Tony Scott playbook, where he did a sequel to Top Gun, and he might as well have done a sequel to Days of Thunder, a movie I watched twice last year, and I was like, okay, So, but seeing F1 in IMAX was just really fun. I wish the movie wasn't 3 hours. That's my only complaint. But otherwise, still fun. And it's just one of those movies where, like, when you see an IMAX or a Dolby, or whatever, you're just like locked in. You hear the engine roaring, you're like, let's go. And you hear the Queen song, We Will Rock You, a song that's been in so many movies over the years. And yet, I don't think it's been used better than this.
No.
I was like, all right, let's go. We will. They will rock us.
Yes, exactly. And to your point, Tommy, when I saw it in Dolby, it was like before it came out, it was like the first time they were assembling it, all that stuff. They had the wrong file, or they had the wrong thing. So we got delayed by like 30 to 35 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to suck. I know this movie's already very long and all this stuff. And yet I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all. I was like, let's fucking go. That's all I felt by the end of that movie. So incredible job.
So is Joseph Kosinski's next movie going to be a remake of The Fan with De Niro and Wesley Snipes?
Yes.
He's like, what else can I ape from Tony Scott?
Yeah. Well, listen. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big spy game guy. Can he get into other various forms, or is it all going to be just the whatever has the
sports ones,
loudest balls? Yeah,
Last Boy Scout or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we could do that too. But yeah, no, he's incredible. And obviously, I miss somebody who's like this, who's on that genre that isn't like losing his touch like a Michael Bay, if or somebody in that frame, to just have this great just doesn't care action stuff, but like is so tech forward too. Like he's like the James Cameron of action right now, where he wants to put you more and more into that experience of what he's aiming for in this particular movie. So I don't know
if I could go on a quick tangent about James Cameron, because I saw Avatar yesterday.
Right.
During Avatar 3, which I liked, even though I hate the other ones, other story, but there's a trailer for James Cameron's doing a concert movie for Billie Eilish.
Yes,
and
I saw this
in the trailer. It's so funny because it's Billie Eilish talking about her tour and just like hanging out, and then all of a sudden it cuts to James Cameron being like, "This is going to be using some tech that we've never used before," and Billie Eilish is like, "Cool." Awesome, James Cameron.
Right. Yeah.
Just like whatever you say, you fucking freak.
And this is the guy who's done like deep sea initiatives for the Titanic. This guy has done all these incredible.
It's just so funny because the trailer keeps on kind of Billie Eilish being this cool alt pop girl, and then like James Cameron be like, and the tech is gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Just two like things that do not mix well together whatsoever.
Yeah, she might as well just turn out, thanks, Dad. I appreciate the help. Did the check clear? Cool. Yeah. But yeah, the most unassuming hates. It's weird that she's even just doing this in general, and then to have James Cameron there is just like so bizarre. It's such a weird trailer to watch. I agree. All right, guys. Well, we did it. That's incredible. We got all 6 for everybody. Does everybody feel good about their picks? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel great. Sure. This is probably the best draft I've ever had.
Yeah, it's funny because again, we all kind of talk. I think because we all wanted. It feels like we all wanted something different from this draft. I feel like to be like what not only what we want in our heart of hearts, but like just where our hearts naturally go. You know, our particular loves in terms of genre and everything else. I am so F1 was the one I was toying with Rental Family at the end there. So I'll probably lose the draft for that. But, you know, I feel good about my picks, at least, that I could go home. I could sleep tonight. I can feel good about it. But yeah, it's an incredible year. I'm interested to see where this is now going to go Oscar wise to kind of put the bow on this. But I think it's, just I love that a lot of our picks are not, you know, genre or franchise kind of sequeled out.
Yeah,
like it didn't feel like how the top of this heap went. Like there's no Avatars, no Minecraft, there's no
Superman.
no Superman, no Fantastic Four. So a lot of the things that when Shane and I usually do our most anticipated movies, there's probably a bunch of stuff. But the fact that Mission Impossible is not on any of our lists, you know, like that's kind of bizarre, at least for the two of us. I don't know about you, Tommy, but
I loved it and loved the movies.
Yeah, I mean, like it still had its moments, you know, but I would say, you know, the highs were just behind them, but but still, you know, it's Tom Cruise, you know, flipping around in airplanes and doing
what more do you need?
So he's, you know, going in submarines and going out of tubes and whatever. So he's still doing Tom Cruise type things. But thank you, Tommy, for doing this. Thank you for coming on. And what do you got coming up for Haven't Seen? How far do you plan those out in advance?
Very often it's like spur of the moment where like Tim or I will cover we'll watch a movie on like cable and be like, hey, like, have you seen like Basic Instinct or something like that? And like, let's cover that, which we have done before. But thank you guys for having me on. We this month we're gonna be covering True Romance. I just watched that right before we recorded.
For the first time.
I've seen it before.
I've seen my top 5 of all time.
I've seen it before. Yeah, Tim has never seen it, so I'm having a guest on for that. We're covering Darkman later this month. We just did Avatar: Way of Water. We have done so many great movies over the years, so check us out. We're at Seen It Pod, Seen It as a movie scene, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're also on Blue Sky at podscene.bluesky.social. And check us out. Haven't seen it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you have your YouTube page. This will obviously be a full video on our YouTube page as well. And you can obviously get this wherever you listen to podcasts. I don't know how you're consuming it now, but just keep consuming it. That's what we want you to do. If you're a fan of Haven't Seen It or a fan of Tommy's beautiful face, you know, and you're coming for that, we appreciate you. We're glad to have you here. Shane, any last words on the film year of 2025 before we get on out of here?
I think we covered it up. I think we covered the highs and the lows, and it was a very solid year, and look forward to what's coming in 2026, my man.
Is there anything that you're just like, gosh, I wish I could have had, like, what was the next one in, I guess, for you, if you had to go that way?
Next movie to wrap up the year?
Yeah. Yeah, like in the draft, like if you had to, like, what was the next one on the list? Did you have something you were toying with?
I had Frankenstein for awards contender as well. So I thought you may have sniped that one, so that's worth mentioning. But yeah, I had Frankenstein as my only other awards contender movie on my list.
Right. Yeah, I think, you know, Hamnet or Wake Up Dead Man, like those were high on my end of the year stuff too. But obviously there's only so many categories to go around. But, you know, for a guy who covers Netflix all year round and seeing absolutely none on here, I'm sure feel great about their mergers and the film year. But they had a good film year, so I can't complain. They won 2 awards for K-pop last night. They won best cinematography for Train Dreams, and Jacob Elordi won for Frankenstein. So, you know, they had a good year. So good on them as well. And obviously, if you don't know, I am the film critic over at What's on netflix.com. So go be sure to check out all my reviews there as well. We have People You Meet on Vacation, I believe is the name of the movie that's coming out on Netflix this week that I'll be covering. My review will be on there, so check that out. But yeah, subscribe to Haven't Seen It. Subscribe to this podcast if you're just coming here for the first time, and be sure to come back next week for more recent activity.